I think we're actually live.
We might be.
Before this, we'll be right over.
Okay. We're still working out these bugs, so if we are live, hey, good news. And if we're not, we'll speak to the walls. Hey, look, there's my belly. We shouldn't be watching this back.
We're live announcing our own live stream.
Yeah, we're live announcing our own live stream.
A 30-second delay announcement of our live stream.
A lime stream.
It's our nearly live stream.
Okay, I want to see. Can you do me a favor and pull up the chat window over there? Because I'm not 100%. Like, make two windows.
I'm not sure where the chat window is.
Scroll all the way to the bottom. Look, there's people chatting. Make that bigger because I can't see shit. I'm blind, friend. That's for super chat. You got to just keep that other window up.
You tell me what I got to do.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. On the struggle bus. Yes.
You can see that?
I don't know why you're waiting here. We're live.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. We'll do it live. Okay. So this is an experiment. I don't want that up on the screen.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be really confusing. I can't listen to that.
No, you can't. We just have to hope for the best.
We do.
I'm going to tell people that we're streaming on Twitter.
Well, isn't this interesting? We're on the interwebs. I'm not often on the interwebs in this format.
And we don't really start until I say the whole "Welcome to the Hooniverse podcast."
Tell me what we're going to do.
If I can, I'm going to give people a link to it so they can come watch. You know, I think that's how this works. Oh, everybody can see my screen. That's fun. Yeah, look at that live now. Okay, so if I click that, and then I click this, and I know how the internet works. Oh shit! I just heard myself. Let's
turn off the volume on your thing there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, I can see the chat too. I can say something. Hi. Okay. Don't dad click you 80. Ah, yes. I was going to make a joke about being a dad. That's funny. All right. So, you know what? Fuck it. Let's start it.
We'll do it live?
Yes.
We're doing it live.
All right. Welcome to episode 261 of the Hooniverse podcast.
Or episode 1 of the video podcast.
One of the video podcasts. Maybe one of one. We'll see. No. We're gonna give this a shot and see how this goes.
It's a very limited edition post Comic-Con special.
No, it's not.
No.
I hope everybody can hear us all right. I'm sure we will hear that. We'll see it. We'll get real-time feedback if they can't hear us.
People in chat, please let us know if you can hear us well or not. I have a little bit of control here with this little black box in front of me.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. I actually did this old school with the proper podcast rundown for episode 261. At some point, we'll put everybody can see my rundown. That's like cheating. That's bullshit.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Jeff, I'm not actually going to address you face to face. I'm just going to look at you in the monitor here.
That's fine.
Because it's easier.
Great.
I'm feeling very Ron Burgundy right now.
I know, it's weird. I'm going to keep looking at the chat, and it's going to fuck me up, but we'll get through this. All right, episode 261 of the Hooniverse podcast. Here we go. We're kicking this off. Jonathan Klein's texting me. Fuck you, Klein. I got to turn my phone off.
Thank you, people. Thank you for letting us know that the chat is working.
The content isn't good, but the sound is good. That's good. All right. The news.
The news.
We're doing this proper.
All right.
You can look at me. You don't have to.
I'm looking at you there.
Okay. First up in the news. Aston Martin has shared specs. Oh, look at that. We made money. We're $1.99. Shut it down.
Thanks, Ski Bum.
We're done.
We're done?
I was kidding.
Oh, okay.
So Aston Martin has. It's a little hot.
I'm gonna turn it down just the hair. Let me know if that's too much.
Aston Martin has shared specs on its Valkyrie supercar. It has a Cosworth-built engine. It's a 6.5-liter V12.
Mm-hmm.
It is the highest output for a naturally aspirated engine. Non-turbo.
Okay.
1,130 mother effing horsepowers.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's not an F1 car.
I mean, it basically is a future F1 car. So it's
wow.
It's the most power from a production car NA engine ever.
What is the compression ratio on it?
Oh, I have no fucking clue. I don't think they've said that yet, but it's Cosworth built.
It's 1,900 to 1.
Yeah, maybe. But that's amazing. They're making 20, I don't know, maybe the 25 number is the AMR Pros, and I forget what the other number is, but they are definitely making They're making enough of them that it's going to be awesome. Mike is better, no longer. Sorry, joke. Jonathan, I'm going to read Jonathan Klein's text too, just because he says, "Read in Boston accent." I'm not going to. Hello, yes, this is Jonathan from Inglewood, first-time caller. Okay, funny stuff. Maybe we'll get to that later, actually, Jonathan. That is funny. Hooniverse, upside down. All right, so that's amazing. I'm sure it's going to be shown to very wealthy people at Pebble Beach, and that's going to be good things. And it's a car that I will never, ever drive. It's a car that I've seen prototype versions of it, and I'd be impressed to see production versions, but it's just one of those unicorn machines that if you ever see one, you'll literally
I mean, we'll never touch one unless we get cancer and like become 12 years old again and get like the Make-A-Wish Foundation to come.
John Cena will deliver it. Do you know John Cena has done the most Make-A-Wish?
And strangely enough, I don't follow wrestling at all, but I did catch that, so that tells you that like they've been pushing that hard as far as PR goes.
Good for John Cena. All right.
Yeah.
Second bit of news. There's a BMW M5 for sale at the Gooding auction at Pebble Beach. Now, that's not the crazy thing. It is a 2002 E39.
I was going to ask what generation first.
2002 E39 with under 500 miles. What do you think the pre-auction estimate is?
My guess is they're probably going to...
just a touch hot.
Am I? Hold on. I will...
Thanks, Eric.
There we go. I'm down ever so slightly. Just a slight tweak. I don't know. I'm going to guess they're asking like $60K or something for it.
The pre-auction estimate is between $140,000 and $180,000.
No, it's not. This is not a reality any of us live in. That car is not worth that much money. It never will be.
Online, because I checked when I wrote an article on this earlier for Motor Authority. Online, I looked up prices just like on Auto Trader or something. 50 to 60,000 mile examples are asking 40 to 50,000. 100,000 mile examples are asking 19 to 20,000. The owner of this car is a guy from San Diego. He bought the car at BMW of San Diego, and apparently he's an avid collector. And if he finds a model that he thinks is going to go up in value, but he still wants to drive, he buys two of them. So he did. So it wasn't a case of like, you know what, I'm going to buy this and it's an investment.
So he bought those the way I bought NES Minis.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the reason nobody could find them.
Well, I just financed my own by selling the other one at an inflated rate.
Oh, there you go. So theoretically, I believe from the listing it says he bought two of these. He drove one, which is great because it is, the original super sedan. And then he stored one away. It has 437 miles on it.
That's still ridiculous, though. That amount of money for that car,
it is ridiculous.
Not worth it.
It's being sold with no reserve, so it'll be very interesting to see.
I'll offer him $39. I mean, have you driven one of those? They're totally not worth anything more than like 20 grand.
No, I'm gonna disagree with you.
I
drove one, and it was a case of meet your heroes. It was everything I hoped it would be.
I thought it was meet your heroes, and that it was, it hit on your mom and then kicked you in the shin.
That's harsh.
That's called going to a Red Sox game. Wow. But
feeling triggered over here.
No, it's just a matter of like I've driven that car, and they were, while very, very good for the time, not what I would call impressive by today's standards.
Oh, I just realized we're having video inception on the screen. Look
at
this shit.
Yeah. See, if we scrolled it up if you scrolled your screen down a little more,
or if I just do this and don't have that up,
you could do that. But then we lose Inception.
No, that's fine. I didn't want the Inception. So it's. I can't wait to see what this car goes for. The auction, the Gooding auctions go off August 24th and 25th up at Pebble, Monterey Car Week. The price is bananas, but
yeah.
There could be some wealthy guy who's our age and growing up, he saw, the BMW films. Remember they did those movies with Clive Owen?
Yeah. They had the various directors for each one of them. Yeah.
Great series, incredible marketing. The M5, there was an amazing one directed by Guy Ritchie with Madonna. That was one of the best ones. So there could be a kid who saw that as a younger man, did well in life, and is like, you know what? Fuck it. I want a brand new E39 M5, and there it is. They're crazy. But maybe.
Yeah, it's insane. I've driven one of those and only a year ago, and it was great for its time, but so underwhelming by today's standards.
Oh my God, I disagree. I loved it. It was so, you were dialed into the car. The steering was great. The manual gearbox was great. The engine just pulled and pulled. It even had that funny, goofy nav system.
You mean
you drove the Rick Radcliff one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved it. But so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that see, like if you were going to do any of those, I look at the E60. I think the E60 is the most unique of the M5s, just because, well, it has literally the V10 race motor.
I know, but I don't give a shit about V10s.
Oh,
they're terrible sounding engines.
You're wrong. They're terrible in the Viper. In everything else, it's magic.
Give me balanced engines, even though I do like 5s and 3s. So I don't even know who I am.
You're just wrong.
Whatever.
You're gonna want a 7-cylinder or something next, aren't you?
I'm a radial engine. I want a 9-cylinder radial engine. All right, moving forward.
Okay, Raf.
Toyota has priced its 2019 TRD Pro, the Tundra TRD Pro, and they've updated. Toyota's updated the whole TRD Pro family for 2019.
And I believe that was the one where Jalopnik showed it off as the scoop upon the scoop.
Road and Track.
Road and
Track did it, and then Jalopnik also wrote about it.
Yeah.
It was going, I did a Photoshop of like another scoop on the roof. So the 2019 TRD Pro Tundra is being priced just $895 less than a Raptor.
That's wrong.
However, here's the thing. Well, it is wrong. But Ford has also updated the Raptor for 2019, and that price is based on a 2018 Raptor, so the Raptor could climb a bit higher as well, which it'd be crazy not to. They've already bumped the price twice.
If you're spending $60,000, what's $1,000 one way or another?
It's just over 50. But if you're buying a Tundra TRD Pro and you're within $1,000 of a Raptor, you're crazy to not get the Raptor.
Yeah, because honestly, the Tundra, I mean, I think the Ford's going to have some probable longevity issues with the forced induction engine, just because they still have carbon issues, at least like as far as I know on all EcoBoost stuff they do. They haven't solved it, so I'd be willing to bet the Toyota's going to last a lot longer, but you don't buy either of those trucks in that segment for a truck that's going to last a long time. You're buying it because you want to buy a big, dumb, fast truck.
Right. And it's significantly down on horsepower. It feels like a heavier truck. I don't know if it is. I would assume it is, aluminum versus steel and all that, but they both have a lot of hefty off-road stuff, so who knows. Wasn't a Tundra TRD Pro 45? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are right. Absolutely.
So, but the Tundra so they swapped the suspension for true Fox suspension, so it has real deal off-road hardware. The TRD Pros were always good. Toyota made them significantly better. It's just not. It shouldn't be within
the same thing,
right? It shouldn't be within striking distance of a TRD of a Raptor. The Raptor's the king, and nothing has dethroned it yet.
No, it's like. It's just you're not comparing the same thing. It's like, I bought a Celica. It's the same as buying a Cobra, right?
Right.
No.
Now we're moving on to the last bit of news, and I'm going to pull up pictures for this because we can do that now.
I know. Isn't that fancy?
Sorry for the there's that 437-mile BMW, so we can see that. I wonder if I can make this. Oh, look, I made it bigger.
Oh, look at that.
I did something technical.
It's like we've got technology and stuff.
So it's just super
and
clean.
FYI, this whole light situation will get
we're
fixed.
Fixing that.
It's a dry run.
I love
this.
This.
First time we've done this.
The material it comes with has an original VHS tape. That's worth the $180,000 alone.
VHS. Now you just got to find a VCR to play it in.
So I don't want to. That's not why I'm bringing this up. I just got excited because I saw that on here. The thing I'm bringing up is there is a Porsche 959 also heading to auction at Pebble Beach. Now that's not something crazy in and of itself, but this one has been in an accident.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one.
So this car is we don't have the whole front end of the nose. Actually, I can make this bigger. Watch. So this is it drives. It runs and drives, but that's some serious damage.
Ran when parked.
So the crazy thing about this car is that the pre-auction estimates is $450,000 to $550,000 as it sits. This car has less than 4,000 miles on it. Now, less than a year ago, this car was offered for sale through you found it on some forums. It was in great shape, and it was the owner was asking $1.3 million. which makes sense for a 959.
I like him back to when Leno talks about some of this stuff, he goes, yeah, but if you crash a car that's that valuable, it doesn't lose that much money because somebody will always pay to rebuild it.
Somebody's going to pay to rebuild it.
Yeah.
But my thing is here that over the course of less than 200 miles from when it was listed clean to listed broken, somebody made a $750,000 to $850,000 mistake.
Yeah.
The auction listing doesn't even reference the crash. So whoever did it is like their ego is destroyed. As it should be, I guess.
But you know what? Somebody will fix it, and then nobody will care that it was ever crashed again.
Well, also, it's being auctioned in Northern California, which is where Canepa is.
Yeah.
Canepa. I say Canepa. I don't know if that's right. But that I mean, you buy it, you truck it to Canepa, you have them fix it, you're good to go. Still, it's gonna be expensive as fuck to fix.
It is, but
it will only appreciate.
The crash in that will be a mere anecdote in that car's history in 20 years.
Right. True.
Nobody will care.
It'll be a story that it'll add, that's the crash 959. Oh, well bucked.
I don't, and it's funny. Like, I just brought up Leno, but I never really watched Leno stuff because I just got a little burnt out on it after a while. I mean, he does good stuff, and I know people that handle their PR and everything, and like everybody over there, it's just we get burnt out on the stuff we've seen a million times. But they just covered. I just happened to watch. They did they covered the Chupin car. I don't know if you guys can hear sirens. That, but
that's like a Hooniverse podcast thing.
Yes, although here it's probably just somebody drowning at the beach and not being shot outside my window.
That's probably better.
Yeah. At least you had a good day at the beach.
Here so I can see the chat. I'm not pulling anything up over here.
But they had one of the Chupin Porsches on. Holy shit!
I saw that. I did. It's amazing. It's rare. It doesn't do anything for me.
It's cool just because it's so odd. But the thing that killed me is that car came in there with 1 mile and they let them put like another 4 on it.
Right.
And I was just like, that's incredibly generous of the owner. I mean, it doesn't affect the value in any way, but still, I mean, Leno's now driven that guy's car more than that guy drove his car.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, that's the news. Now we are moving on to exactly. Like
glasses keep coming on and off because I'm trying to keep track of the chat here too.
Your contacts, son.
Yeah.
Exactly like Rowan Atkinson's car. Yes. Well, without the Mr. Bean ownership change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is Rowan Atkinson's car. All the helmets are like turkey shaped.
That's awesome. We're moving to questions from the audience, and these are the pre-written, pre-asked questions that I send out a tweet or Patreon or whatever, and everybody knows Patreon is better than everybody else.
Although Super Chat we're now very fond of as well.
Yeah. Patreon's been here longer. Super Chat, you're catching up.
Instant gratification on the Super Chat, though.
Seriously. First question from Patreon. Marshall Cash. I just listened to the TST podcast with Alor Roof Jr. I didn't catch it live. Do you think someone will eventually do something like that with a Japanese make or car where they specialize in one car and do continuation or base custom vehicles on them like the new Roof CTR? I think at some point,
I think it's inevitable.
There are companies that do... They don't specialize. Well, so JDM Legends in Utah, they actually got their own TV show out of it. It's good guys. I'm very happy for them. They do just Japanese cars, but they don't specialize in one make or model. I'm sure if there isn't one already outside of the U.S. doing it that we don't know of, there will be at some point somewhere someone doing it.
It's somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to do it with like
240Zs.
Or they're going to do it with Skylines.
I can see 240Zs being more.
What's the ultra rare classic Toyota?
2000 GT.
The 2000 GT.
I think that one's a little bit too untouchable. So that'd be like if Roof was like, let's do nothing but 918 Spiders.
And even the Celicas, or if you live anywhere outside of the United States, the Celica. Which it still blows. I can't say Celica. It just bothers me.
No, it's a weird sounding word. It sounds like something is wrong with your stuff.
But Speed Academy guys, shout out to them. They've been doing great episodes on their car. Somebody's going to do that with Japanese cars.
The answer is yes.
And I give it some point, and somebody will be doing it with WRXs in probably 20 or 30 years too.
Oh, that'd be cool. A Singer STI. Dan Mosqueda asks, great video on the Volvo V90 wagon. Thank you. I've been seeing a lot of Volvos pop up lately. Do you think the prospect for them is looking up? No. Well, for Volvos, yes, but not wagons. We will see a will we see a coupe like the Sublime Bertone 740 coupe or a sports car from Volvo? Sports car, yes, but it's going to be sports sedan. The Polestar is building their Polestar car. Someone says the new Raptor is port injection, so that helps.
Oh, yeah, that does help
that's
a lot.
a very good comment. We cannot we could fact check you, but I don't want to.
I'm going to trust you.
Fake news.
I just assume that I was wrong.
So, right, there you go. So, yes, the Polestar car sounds amazing. Not like a Polestar edition car, but Polestar as a separate brand is building their own sports sedan, and it sounds like it's going to be amazing. I agree with you, Jake. I think Volvos are luxurious as hell, but not everybody feels the same way.
I mean, that's the only way they could tackle the U.S. market at this point, is nobody was going to buy them because they couldn't get to a low enough price point to where they were going to be mass market. They tried to go after just the safety thing, and while they are safe as hell, they're certainly not the only brand chasing that, because Subaru does that very well cheaply.
The only thing about a Volvo is that you get into it and you're like, this is just simplistically beautiful and luxurious. But then when you finally get
Might you say Scandinavian in design?
Yes, it's very Scandinavian.
Yeah.
But then when you actually go in and sit in like an actual, E400 wagon or an A8 or even a base 7 Series base S-Class, you're like, oh shit, there's just a little bit something extra there. But I love what Volvo's doing, and I loved the V90. I liked it.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're good cars. I mean, it's not really my cup of tea for the most part, but they're building great stuff, and I can recognize them for that. Some of their engine stuff they get going on now, where they're doing compound charging and stuff like that, is a little beyond what I would consider reasonable, because I look at those and go, they're going to be a mechanical nightmare. But if you're kind of looking at that, I
think they were right out of the gate, and I think they quickly sorted it. I could be wrong about that, but
I mean more on the long-term basis, though. Yeah. But I suppose if it's a luxury car, they don't really care. If
you're the first owner, who gives a fuck?
Because you're probably leasing it anyway, and it's an $80,000 or $90,000 car.
That's the thing. The V90 wagon I had was just over 60.
Shut your mouth.
I swear to God.
Okay.
That's the thing that where you look at it, you go, how is it? It's rare to find a vehicle in today's market. You go, this is priced low. Everything else is high, with the exception of like a Crosstrek. You're like, oh, sub 30, great, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I was just at the Volvo dealership when I was looking for cars before, because they had a Macan that was there, and I just looked around and stuff real quick, and I'm like, not bad.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, but not bad at all.
I think both Volvo's already moving up, and I think Lincoln is chugging not far behind.
I doubt Lincoln will sustain, though.
I don't know, man. They're making some strong moves. So it's a make or break moment for them.
It's Lincoln, though. They're going to inevitably fuck up.
Possibly, yes.
That's kind of what they do.
I don't want to click that. Okay. Ryan Morris, parents are moving to Florida. I'm sorry. Mom drives a lifted Wrangler on 35s. Well, just keep it. And dad is getting a stipend of $650 a month for a car. They are looking for a luxury car, 2 or 4 doors, as long as it has enough room to fit adults in the back for a short drive to the beach or dinner. Audi A5 has made the short list. Any other ideas? Look at the Sportback if they're looking A5, just because it's like, well, yeah. What else is? What else could they look at? Look at like the new Genesis stuff.
Yeah, right? Look at the Genesis stuff. I mean, A5. So I'm assuming
a black G80. What do those go for? That'll look like nice in the driving.
They should go look at like a
fancy friends to dinner.
Used Lexus RCF or something like that too.
Yeah, that's not good. The backseat room sucks. I know.
They're looking for major. Okay, so GSF.
GSF, but it doesn't sound. They're looking for a luxury car that doesn't mention sport, so I feel like they want more of like LS luxury. So S90, Volvo S90, not the V90, S90. Cadillac CT6 worth looking at? Not in my opinion.
You know what is a great deal though that I almost bought? V Sport. The V Sport's dope.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I
like
had
that
one.
Car
I got a speeding ticket, and I just paid it today, and. Speeding tickets in California are expensive as fuck.
Yeah, so are parking tickets.
I got a speeding ticket on the Audi RS5 launch in Arizona, and I was dreading the price, and it was like $60. My speeding ticket here, the infraction was similar, and it was $370. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, I had a parking ticket right out in front of my house that they sent my car was out there for a few days, so there was no ticket on the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent the ticket to my old house, and by the time it got forwarded here, it was late, and it was an area where it wasn't posted that there was no parking. So I sent a letter on appeal, and they said, yeah, it's too late for you to appeal. You owe us $260.
That sucks.
For a parking ticket. Fuck you, City of Redondo Beach.
Yeah, Redondo. Suck it. Craig on McBride, let's say that this time it's real and the Corvette is going to get a mid-engine variant. It is real. What's the most logical next car to go mid-engine to push its own performance envelope? My guess is the GTR. They have to do something to keep that car relevant. I mean, that's not a bad guess. I'm thinking they're going to hybridize that, though.
Well, they've already said they are.
Well, Nissan says a lot of shit.
It's kind of already. I mean, it's in the same vein as the C6, though. In that it's a front mid, I believe, already.
Yeah, but front mid isn't like true mid. Corvette's going mid, like behind the driver mid.
Or as I call it, wank mid.
Wank mid?
Yes, it's just you're going, my mid is better than your mid because my mid is rear mid, your mid is front mid.
Rear mid is real. Rear mid is real mid. Front mid is front. Is like non-understeery front. Porsche is pushing that engine closer, and if they keep doing it further on their race cars, it should only follow suit on their road cars. But I think your GTR is a good guess. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that it's going to be hybridized. I really think you're like, what if Mitsubishi was like, you know what, fuck it, new Evo 20
or
in 2020, Evo 20 mid-engine electric supercar
coming next year.
Hydrogen.
The new Mitsubishi 3000 GT and Dodge Stealth.
Why are Audi Avants better looking than all other wagons? Is it just because we can't have them? Pretty much, yeah.
No, I will contradict that. The Panamera wagon.
The Panamera wagon is dope. The V90 does look really good too.
Panamera wagon is dope, but it's also expensive.
Yeah, the Sport Turismo.
Yeah, I was scoping those at
Sport.
Beverly Hills Porsche.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Chris is a Porsche owner now.
I guess.
He does.
Well, no, I mean,
I
just happened to be there, and I'm like drooling over that car while I was waiting for them. I was in the
Surprised you don't have your keys, like
yes,
sitting right there.
I was in the pour line,
my Mercedes,
like waiting for them. They're like, "Oh, you want a used one?
Ugh.
You want a used Macan?"
Where's my Mercedes keys?
So I was like last in the queue, and I'm like looking around at all the cars, and like, "Can I help you, sir?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just looking."
I was just finger pointing because Carcane said AMG wagons look good too, and
they do.
Are true. I saw one.
You are
yesterday.
Absolutely right, sir.
I saw one just the other day. David 6 asks or says, "I live in the Rust Belt. Is it better to buy a local project car and fix the rust, or buy a car online from a nicer climate and ship it home? I have the skills to fix the rust, but not the time or wife's permission to travel somewhere to look at a car. So viewing the car in person beforehand is out. A lot of YouTubers seem to buy cars sight unseen, low risk or bad idea. They do it for the drama of it, and it makes for good content. It really does make for good content. But you're not, as far as I know,
you don't need to go quite so sight unseen. I mean, if you know somebody that lives in the area, or you can find somebody that'll do you the favor, or you might even be able to find a local shop to go do a PPI for you.
Right, that's always a good bet. Find someone to go look at it.
Buy a clean car. Don't try and clean the cancer off of it. Like cleaning a chassis.
If you can go see it and it's not bad and you have the skills to do it, though, you're going to find it for a lot less. But I always want to sell my cars. I want to list them on Craigslists in like the middle of the country or the Rust Belts.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, California car. So whatever.
No, there is a premium to being here, or like Florida cars are usually pretty good too.
Yeah.
Although you got to watch out with water damage there.
Yes, someone did a screenshot from when we were setting up the podcast. That is fucking great. That's my belly.
Yes, you missed Jeff thrusting into the camera for 3 minutes straight.
That's my belly.
Which was great because it was right over my shoulder the entire time.
It was close, my friends. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm scrolling down to the Twitter questions. I'm sorry. It's easy to get distracted when you're doing this shit. So let's. Untitled Car Show asked a lot of questions. David Baltzar asked a question.
Let's answer some questions.
No, okay, I'm scrolling up. David Baltzar at standard 6 speed. I'm going to zoom in so people can see this shit better. And like we can get people to follow these other people on Twitter, have some fun with it. David Baltzar at Standard 6 Speed. Have you ever been to an NHRA event? No, and I would love to go to one. They look like they're awesome.
I've been to lots of them because I used to live
Florida.
Yeah, because I lived 10 minutes away from Moroso, what is now Palm Beach Palm Beach Motorsports Park.
Very cool. No, I want to go though. Untitled Car Show at Untitled Car Show. You can have any car. This is a really weird question, but the Untitled Car Show is really good at really weird questions. You can have any car you want, but it's filled with magical mayo that fills the car to the bottom of the windows and automatically refills. It doesn't spoil in the car, but once it spills out or when taking out on you or your items, which car and why? I actually love mayonnaise.
This is how much I hate mayonnaise. You could ask me, sustain yourself on nothing but mayonnaise for a month or cut off a finger. I would ask you which finger.
I love mayonnaise, and I wouldn't do this. I don't want a car with mayonnaise in it. Like, I like that you ask weird questions, but I just don't want a car with mayonnaise in it.
You have found the one food that just revolts me to no end.
If I make like a chicken patty for dinner with some fries on the side, I will do a mixture of mayo and sriracha and dip my shit in that, and it's so fucking good.
So it's like Mexican dressing.
Kind of. I'm trying to get better at eating spicy foods. I've always been a pussy with spicy food, so I just add more sriracha over time. Untitled Car Show. Oh, another question. If you were a cheese, what cheese would you be? I would be fresh mozzarella because it is just one of the greatest cheeses. That's a terrible answer, but that's my favorite cheese. So.
I don't have a good answer for that one. That's going to require more thinking. So let's just say
mayonnaise the middle finger. Someone wrote that. Manual, smart car, great car, or greatest car? I mean, a fun car.
You know who had a good one? BBI.
Oh, I'm sure.
BBI had a smart car as a shop car that the shop dog had destroyed the carpet, and so they put AstroTurf on the floor.
Right.
But they went and did full chassis work on it with coilovers and like bushings and everything. So they're like, yeah, it's only marginally slower than driving a motorcycle.
I had to jump to Patreon because I saw someone jump back over there with a question, and they're better than everybody. Ben Rife asks, this is a good question for you, actually. Mm-hmm. There's no market ECU tuning support for the US 1-liter Fiesta. Nothing from Mountune or Cobb. What are my options?
I'd say wait, because you'll probably have options over the course of the next year as almost the entire Euro fleet goes 3-cylinder.
Yeah. Another from Untitled asked a lot of questions. What do you put on your hot dog? I do ketchup or mustard. I'm not. I'm okay with either, or also chili. I like a good old Heinz hot dog. Just a little ketchup on there. Tasty. Worst place to be a car enthusiast: Decimal Drag Race. I don't know what that is, or a drag as in men in drag race.
Decimal Drag Race is a stereo competition.
Oh, I would much rather be with the delightful drag men in drag,
6
talking
in
about
one,
cars.
half dozen in the other.
I don't want to go to a decimal drag. I'm old. I'd much rather hang out with the delightful cross-dressing.
You know
folks.
what it is? Is it's with those guys? Is some of them you run into cool stuff like Jubal, formerly of Clarion.
Yeah.
And like you see these guys doing like legit like cool engineering and custom work. That I enjoy. The douchiness factor of like the guys that are just blowing vape rings the entire time sucks, but like the actual hard work that goes into it I can dig.
Okay,
absolutely.
Sure. Untitled Car Show has a good question. Why did I buy a Fiero GT? I don't know. I don't like Fieros.
They're a good platform for building other shit.
I have a very close friend from back in Boston who loves Fieros. He is wised up and built an amazing Fox body though.
I've seen some cool Fieros done though.
I'm sure. I just don't. I don't know. This is a really good question from Joe Q. Joe Q Car, Joe Cariotti.
Joe!
What car, if any, do you want to re-review because you think your opinion of it might have changed? That is a tremendous question that I should have thought about a bit more. I don't think I have one where my opinion has dramatically changed. There has to be one, though. There has to be a car out there where if I drove it now, I'd be like, oh, this is so much better, or this is so much worse. I would actually like to give, someone brought up the CT6. I would like to give that Winthrop in Boston. I would like to give that, well, actually, no, the car is now, he lives in Saugus? No, not Saugus. He lives up in, it's not Somerville. Where the hell does he live?
Worcester or something?
No.
Medford?
Not Medford. It's Lynn and then Marblehead, and he lives next to Marblehead. Swampscott. He lives in Swampscott. He lives in Swampscott. So I would re-review the CT6 because I was so underwhelmed by it, and everybody else liked it. I thought the 30 speaker sound system wasn't great at all because it was Bose, and then I didn't love it, and I went and a lot of CT6 owners sounded off in the comments. So it was I'd like to re-examine that car and see what's up.
One thing I will say is I am starting to give Bose a little more leeway because I've been in a few cars lately where it hasn't been garbage. So I can't think of any specific cars that I drove years ago that my opinions drastically changed on.
Right.
But that would be one thing. I think you and I have both been pretty fair. Of like, even if a car's not like our thing, we know that it's for somebody else, and it can objectively still be good. Also, Joe, I owe you an answer back, and I will text you after the show.
There you go. Yeah. Live updates. Jumping to Facebook questions, which I clearly don't have ready because I'm an idiot. Oh, look, a shot of my old Civic. Hey, okay. Now we wait for the internet. So how's your day?
I set up a live streaming studio today.
Right.
Hung up some foam acoustic paneling. Let me know if it sounds echoey at all or anything in here because this is the first time we're doing this.
It doesn't seem echoey, so I mean that's good.
No, we've got blankets on that wall. I've got proper foam acoustic panels and like bass traps in the corner, and tried to do everything to keep it out of the old view here.
Bass trap. Okay, found the Facebook questions. First question from Nico Meager: Jag, wagon, or Volvo? Great video, by the way. Thank you very much.
Jag.
I loved the Jag.
Yeah.
The Volvo is the better wagon,
but the Jag looks cooler.
It does. Yeah. What is your favorite crate motor for your Mercedes?
A working
one? I wanted the Hemi, but I'm going to talk about that, and we'll get to that. There's more news on the wagon's front. We'll get to that. Good question, though. If I was in the Volvo, I'd be like, I would pick the Volvo. You put me back in the Jag, I'd probably be like, I'm taking the Jag. So I don't know. The real answer is E63, but that's much more expensive than both of them. Niles Rogers: what car would you take on a south-north road trip through Japan, twisties and toge runs included? I mean, the easy answer is Skyline.
Yeah, that's an easy answer.
But an NSX would be a great choice. OG NSX. No, new one's good too. I would want something old though. You know what I would want to do? I would want to do the Hakosuka, the old Skyline with the dope fenders, the right, I think Watanabe wheels. Just an older Hakosuka with a slightly modded L engine and yeah. What do they do? Rebel? Who makes those engines? I don't know. I answered it, Ben. I got to it.
Barring mechanical difficulty, an RX-7 could be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, the right RX-7. Yeah, absolutely.
I like the FD RX-7 a lot. Or even the early ones, or like some of the Aussie market ones, the 4-doors. And those weren't RX-7s, but yeah.
Oi. Landry Neely: what trans are you using in the Benz wagon? 4L80E or T56? Can you also get an NV3500 manual cheap for an LS motor? We haven't decided on trans yet. We're probably going to go with the 4L80E most likely.
Do you want it to be auto?
What?
You want it to be
auto?
I
don't mind it being auto at all. Yeah, I don't want to cut the floor up. I know already stuff an engine. In my head, it's an automatic. I don't foresee us going manual. If a manual gearbox arrived for the right price, I'd be like, fuck it, cut the thing up. But I want it as like an all-around cruiser.
Yeah.
So in my head, it's an automatic.
If you could, try and go with a 6L80E. It's a much better transmission.
T56?
Well, T56 is manual, but the 4L80E and the 6L80E, those are autos.
Got it. Yeah. David Bodenstein asks, if you could only drink one type of beer, which would you choose? I know IPAs get a bad rap, but I love my IPAs. So if I had to drink nothing but one type of beer, just because I would be so worried about missing out on some great beers, I'd be tempted to go IPA, but there's so many lighter beers right now that are so good too. Like I love Gosas and sours and some of that stuff. It wouldn't be a bad choice to just do nothing but like all the range of sours. But there's also a wide range of IPAs and strong ales, so I'd probably stay that route just because.
I'm gonna go with IBC root beer.
IBC root beer, good choice.
Because it's delicious.
Good choice. I really appreciate that your audio is loud and clear. TST podcasts are practically unwatchable without post-edit audio booming. That's good to know.
It's almost like I've been doing this podcast stuff for a long time.
So we're going to dive into our cars now. And I'm going to start it off. Actually, I'm going to start off with the other Benz, the 280 sedan, because on the way here, it started to run like shit.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You generally drive that thing around without too much drama.
Yes. So it's starting to get warmer. Like my temperature gauge is coming higher.
And Larry is getting larger.
I think maybe I'm gonna check the thermostat if that's fucked, and it's just not operating correctly. So I was in some stop and go traffic on the way here, just Southern California, that's the way it is. And as it got warmer, the car started running like shit, which makes me think I was I think it was just fucking with the carburetor. So I think it was getting too hot. The carb was doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And so it started running rough, and it just got rougher the closer I got here.
I think the thing to check would be, and we can go look after this, go out with a flashlight, go see how your fuel lines are run and see if they're getting real hot. And if not, there's an easy fix in that you can put some sleeves around your fuel lines and probably help keep this cool a little bit better.
It's generally a hot engine because it's just stuffed in there. That was a bigger engine. I know they made the bigger 6 in the smaller car at the time. So
you could always put some speed holes in it.
Yeah, I could do speed holes. The speed holes.
They're speed holes.
So I can probably actually close. No, I'm going to leave that up for now. So it was running like shit, and it's really annoying. But I did finally get my audio system fully done. It's done.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, now I absolutely have to go out and see it.
Sounds good.
Are you sure you don't want to go do decibel drag racing?
I'm sure. It sounds... I was expecting body panels to rattle just because it's an old car. Nothing rattles. It sounds crisp and clear.
Hey, thank you for the donation.
We need
Dan.
like a bell, like if you're at a bar.
We do.
Big.
This will not be like Cold Stone. We will not sing for you.
Like on the iPhone 1, there was an app that people got excited about that could make like a cowbell noise. That's how far.
Yeah, that or apps. The old DJ horn.
Yeah. So the audio system in it is in. We've got 5 1/4 maybe in the doors.
And this is all Clarion, right?
Yeah, all Clarion. Yeah. I'm doing a video on it. I'm doing a full story on it. It's going to come up this week. I think 5 1/4 in the doors, and then tweeters above. And then we didn't touch the Becker. The Clarion Marine head unit is mounted down in behind the shifter.
You're just using
in the center
Bluetooth,
console.
I assume?
I can do Bluetooth. I can also, we mounted in the cigarette lighter, there's a USB port. So I can go that way too, like a Clarion brand. It's kind of cool the way they did it. Then in the back on the shelf, we have 2 6x9s. And then in the trunk, we have a custom built enclosure for a sub with a hole cut in the back. So it does right against the back of this back seat, and it sounds great. All Clarion, all awesome. The red test curtains make them look too...
Hey.
Oh, don't change the light. No, he's right about the light background. We're not changing the background.
No.
We're changing the placement of that light that is reflecting in the TV. Did you see how good I did on that point?
Yeah, I know.
Backwards.
It's like we're getting used to it or something.
So the system is in video, at least a written story later this week, and video coming up because I owe Clarion a lot. Great thanks for that. So I'm very excited about that. But it started running like shit today.
Well, let's take a look at it when we get out of here. And then as far as like the podcast setup and everything goes here, guys, like this is very much the first version of it. So mics could change at some point. We could go to labs.
Oh, we're not done.
I kind of like this setup.
He's just responding to that.
No. I'm just filling them in on like what's going on.
I like the mics.
I literally just got this set up today. So... there's going to be a little more tweaking that goes on, but expect we're going to be able to do some more streaming of video. Like it probably won't be just desktop here for permanent sake. We'll be able to just throw video segments up on that. And the other cool thing is now that we have this set up, we're actually going to be able to do remote guests. So we won't have to have people in the studio here all the time. So it's going to make booking a lot easier.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Though I'm very impressed with Chris's setup here. He did an awesome job.
Thank you.
Very excited. So now the Benz is whatever the Benz moving to the Wombat, which is the other Mercedes, the wagon. So we'll get to upcoming reviews in a little bit. The wagon that we already told you that the Hemi engine and transmission are sold. Those are gone.
Yep.
Which is great.
And very reasonably so, actually.
Yeah, I think so. I lost a little bit of money on them, but they were sitting for 4 years.
You always do when you buy parts and then you sit on them. Like I lost $1,000 when I sold that supercharger.
And I sold it without the electrical, so it balances out. So we potentially have a line already. My builder called me the other day. We potentially have a line on an LS crate motor that was in a hot rod that was in an accident. So the mileage is low.
Okay.
And the initial price the guy's asking isn't bad at all. And the builder said, I'm actually going to see if I can get him down a little bit if we give him cash. And I'm like, and then there's no trans involved, but it's a crate motor with like the key, the electrics, the throttle pedal, like all that shit that you would get with the crate if you bought it.
Oh hell.
Yeah.
Literally turnkey.
So
awkward dad dance.
Yeah. So it could be great. It could be great. So stay tuned. Very excited about that stuff. Now, speaking of upcoming reviews, I just gave back the what was I just editing? I was editing something. So the Volvo just went up. Oh, I just shot video today of the Dodge Charger Daytona, so the 392 Daytona. So that one will be coming out soon. I'm currently editing the Baja trip. I went to Baja, Mexico, drove wide open buggies for 2 days. Josh Ostrander and I, we shot 500. He shot most of it. 500 gigabytes of fucking footage.
Gig of bytes.
Wow. 521 gigawatts of data was transferred. So the footage is beautiful. His camera just takes really pretty stuff. So I'm very excited about that. Another upcoming review that'll be coming soon. I just did the finger point. I get it this weekend. The Stelvio Quadrifoglio.
I thought you already had it for some reason.
Nope.
That could be interesting.
I'm driving it all the way to Yosemite.
Hopefully it makes it all the way to Yosemite.
Yeah,
but I already said that last week. I know that.
I didn't think about that. And I hope it does too. And I think it will. I have faith. I got to have faith, the faith, but I think it's going to do it. Now, what's going on with your Macan? Any news? Just happy sailing?
Just did a little cleanup on it. I diddled it, and I stuck my penis in the gas tank.
This is not a family-friendly podcast.
No, it's not. But
get beer in here.
Did some leather conditioning on there and everything, and no joke there. But like CarMax, as it turns out, like you can get a good deal there, as I did, but they do a really shitty job cleaning the cars and like detailing them. They're basically just bring them in the line and like hose it out and sell it off.
But otherwise, still happy with it.
Let's see. I'm catching up on chats here.
Alpha jokes never get old, but man, they're pretty.
They are pretty. I do like those cars, but they're just broken often.
Yes. So Macan still happy.
Oh, very much so. And now that like I'm getting the Fiesta ready for sale, and then after that, the Corvette's becoming the focus again for the project. I'm going to go back to doing that. I think one of the first priorities is going to be getting the interior done. Right. So it doesn't look like a craptastic C6 interior.
Okay. Craptastic. I like that.
Nice leather. Like I found a nice local shop that does really good interior work. I think I'm going to have them trim everything in leather. And they've given me some unrealistically reasonable pricing on it. So,
okay. So I have a friend in the industry, Travis Langness, who works for Edmunds. Some of you might have seen his reviews online. Yep. He has an Acura Integra GSR. I think it's a GSR, and it's green. It's beautiful, and he sent it in for paint. And I'm so jealous. I kind of want to do that to this Benz sedan, but I don't want to keep spending money on it if I'm going to sell it soon.
Paint gets expensive real fast.
I know, but I know.
It cost me, like, when I needed to get all the body paint, like, I had that, and this is a long time ago, like, early podcast days, actually pre-podcast, I had a body shop do some really shitty work on my Corvette, and it cost me, like, $6,000 to get the whole thing properly painted. And I didn't go for like some crazy shop. That was just like the amount of labor that goes into it.
I know, because I would also want like the paintless dent done and the scratches, and it just bugs me that like the driver's side doors, the lowers the paint needs help, but whatever. I should just let the next owner worry about that and get the car just like set up for sale mechanically. This is a random question. Wait, why not see if Bring a Trailer would auction your Fiesta?
I've thought about it, and I haven't put a lot of thought about it, but I may look into it more this week.
Federico Barbieri, random question: how are the Escort Mark II seen in the U.S.? Exotic, desirable, or small and crappy? No, we love them.
I love them, and I tell people
they're
a really cool project car, especially because we can get the French ones brought over that are left-hand drive. And they're not expensive. You can bring them over for like $4,000 or $5,000.
No, those cars are awesome, super awesome. You already said the Fiesta. You already said the Vet. Now, here's a bit of Hooniverse. Herniaverse.
Very different.
I'm starting a new medical website.
It's all bulges.
No, so we've been in the midst of back end well, it'll be front end soon, but we're redesigning the site eventually because it's a bit dated and we need some of that fancy internet paint on it.
Yes.
I've been going back and forth with logo designs with the designer we're working with, and I think the first two it's not that we weren't communicating. The designer's a great guy. I just didn't give him any guidance. I said, you do it. After the second one, I was like, here's where I think our inspiration lies. And he came back with a fucking great design. So I'm very excited about that. I'll share some images soon, and then I can't wait to do different.
We're going to talk some technical stuff and yeah.
So we've got new logos coming. We've got a new website design coming. We've got some stuff going on in the back end, and then the website's I'll tell you where my inspiration came from for our website redesign. So there's a mountain biking website that I like called the Loam Wolf, LOAM, Loam Wolf. I love their layout. I love their attitude, their aesthetic. And I found out who their designer was and went to that guy, and we started chatting off. Is it a live stream? We started talking, and his price was, I thought, way more reasonable than I expected. I expected to reach out to a designer and go, nope, we can't afford that. Fun chat. And I was like, no, okay, this is totally reasonable. So I'm very excited to share that soon. You know what we're going to get for this too?
Oh.
No, I was just thinking like lower thirds. And then
our
social media stuff.
I have already done that with this previously. I just didn't have time to get that all done today. We'll have it next week. I did because I used a very similar setup when we were doing the Forza live stream several years ago.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of a little bit of time, and
because right there in the notes it says social meteors.
Yes.
So please sound up. Wait. Well, I think there's some more questions. There are some more questions.
Hold on.
The Twitter questions were mostly fakeness, but I'm going to go check for someone. But Chris, as I check Twitter, you...
as usual, like you can find me on at Hayes Data on Twitter. I'm rarely there because I find Twitter to be a hopeless cesspool of internet garbage. But I may rejoin society there at some point. And then, as usual, if you want to do a podcast, go over to Shout Engine. I don't need to give you the spiel. You've heard it a million times.
Thomas West at Too Fat for Karting, which is a great Twitter handle.
It is a good Twitter handle.
If I was to get into one discipline of driving, which would benefit my driving skill the most, drift or rally? For instance, for reference, I have a great grip car that I am learning in. I think on a base level, rally, I got to get this shot of my stomach out of there. Rally would be a better overall knowledge base skill to have. Chris, are you using OBS yet?
Yes, we are using OBS.
Rally will be a better overall knowledge base to have. If you want to drift, go drift, but rally will teach you just
and you'll learn a lot of drifting in rally anyway.
You will through the process of it, but rally will teach you such a greater range of driving skills so that if you had to pick one, rally, no question. Drift is awesome, but rally is more
Go to Team O'Neill, go say hi to Wyatt. He will teach you well.
Yeah, Wyatt's the man. Follow me on Instagram at Hooniverse Jeff. Follow at The Real Hooniverse. On Twitter, I'm at Jay Glucker. You're already on our YouTube channel, so maybe subscribe if you haven't already. I'm assuming most of you have. Why else would you be here? Go to Hooniverse.com and read our stuff. We, like I said, the website redesign is coming. We're also in the midst. We do this thing every year, the last few years, called Project Car SOTU, S-O-T-U, and that stands for State of the Union. So where all of the various Hooniverse editors give you the state of the union of their various project cars. And it usually lasts about a week, and it's a fun way to just get good content about what's going on. Sometimes it'll be as simple as nothing. This car sucks, or it'll be a whole host of changes that have happened since the last time we talked about it. So those will be coming probably after the upcoming September holiday, and those will be really good. Live and Let Die Cast. I'm enjoying you shout out to host my podcast, Live and Die.
Oh, no. And the stream just cut out an hour in.
Oh, I wonder if it has recording limits.
I think it does. Hold on. Or the camera just
see if you can start it back up so we can say goodbye.
Oh, the camera overheated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm letting people know in the comments.
So now we know we can go about an hour.
I wonder what we can do about that.
Figure it out. Probably have to swap out to a different kind of camera.
Yeah. Just hit the buttons in case you have to stop the stream. Oh, the audio's still going. Good thing we didn't say anything like really dumb. Man, we fooled those idiots. That's funny.
No, it wasn't a. It wasn't actually a recording limit.
No, it was the camera. The camera overheated and shut off.
Well, after an hour of live streaming, the sensor on the camera just overheated.
I'm making a John Krasinski, The Office face at the camera, like. So yeah, thank you all for now listening. We'll figure out the camera for the next one so it doesn't do that. But we're gonna go ahead and call this a show. That was pretty good.
I think that was a success for a dry run.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks everybody.
All right.